As a dentist, there are a few things I would absolutely never do to my teeth, even if it seems like everybody else is doing it. I think the difference is I just see the damage firsthand when people do these things. So in this video, I'm gonna go over 5 things I never do as a dentist, why they're risky, and why you should not do it. Number 1 is oil pulling. Now, oil pulling isn't really risky. There's no harm in oil pulling. If you don't know what oil pulling is, it's this trend where people take like coconut oil, they take a scoop of it, they put it in their mouth, and they swish it around for like 20 minutes or so, and then they spit it out. You can't spit it in the sink though. You have to spit it in like a trash can, otherwise it's gonna clog your drains. The reason I never do oil pulling is because I think it's a waste of time. I do not have 20 minutes to do this. I would rather just simply brush and floss like normal because I know that that's what works. Some people claim that oil pulling will prevent cavities or basically fix cavities that are already there, and some people claim it can replace brushing and flossing. I don't think there's any harm to oil pulling. I think you can do it if you want, but it's definitely not a replacement for brushing and flossing. Also, there is no evidence that it's going to fix cavities or anything like that. The only evidence on oil pulling is that it can remove some plaque on your teeth. Now, the reason that I think this is a waste of time is because you get plaque off your teeth when you brush and floss like normal. But like I said, if you want to do it, by all means, go for it. Just know that you have to do the basic things first. Number 2 is I would never use charcoal toothpaste. Charcoal toothpaste is another really popular thing, and I've had friends come up to me using it, and then this is where I start to see some of the harm. So this is something that, unlike oil pulling, can actually harm your teeth and your gums. Charcoal toothpaste is really abrasive. It's like this black toothpaste that's supposed to whiten your teeth because it polishes everything really well. The thing is, teeth do not get white from polishing. Yes, after you go to your dental cleanings and then they polish your teeth at the end, they look really sparkly and nice. And that's because they're polishing and cleaning off all the tartar and gunk and plaque on your teeth. When you clean off all the plaque and tartar off your teeth, yes, they're gonna naturally look a lot better, healthier, and whiter. But you don't need to aggressively polish your teeth that often. If you do it every single day, twice a day, like how you should be brushing, then you can start to cause some problems because this polishing agent will start to wear down your enamel. It'll start to thin the outer layer of your tooth. And guess what? Underneath is your dentin, and your dentin is yellow. So while they might look white initially because you're cleaning off all the gunk off your teeth, eventually they will start to scrape off your enamel to the point where your teeth get more sensitive and they start to get more yellow. And once you lose that enamel, there's nothing you can do to get it back. I had one friend that used charcoal toothpaste, didn't listen to me, didn't consult me, and then months, I think a couple years went by, and all of his gums were super receded, his teeth were super sensitive, and there wasn't much I could do at that point. Number 3 is I would never breathe from my mouth. Okay, that's a lie. I breathe from my mouth all the time, but I try to avoid it. I am really passionate about mouth breathing versus nose breathing, and I have talked a ton about this in a bunch of my videos. And this is true whether it comes to exercising and improving your VO2 max to live longer and live healthier, or when it comes to your dental health, because mouth breathing will dry out the saliva in your mouth and make you more prone to getting cavities and gum disease. But even as a kid growing up, when you breathe in and out of your mouth and your mouth is always hanging open, then your mouth is more likely to be narrow, your teeth are more likely to be crooked, as opposed to when you breathe in and out of your nose, your jaw is more likely to grow wider and forward, and your teeth are more likely to be straight. You're less likely to have sleeping conditions like sleep apnea. You're less likely to have ADHD. The list goes on. But what I want to focus on in this video is mouth breathing, especially while sleeping. I touched on a couple of the topics. So when you breathe in and out of your mouth, you dry up the saliva in your mouth. Now your saliva is like a natural bodyguard for your teeth and your gums. It's super important to help prevent getting cavities and gum disease. So people who breathe in and out of their mouth are way more likely to get these problems. So a simple solution is to start learning how to breathe in and out of your nose. You might wonder, well, how am I supposed to learn how to do that? Well, during the day, you can just train yourself. Train yourself to have proper oral posture. That means your lips should be closed, your teeth should be slightly touching, and your tongue should be up against the roof of the mouth. Not just the tip of the tongue, but also the middle and back part of the tongue. The tongue is really important as well, because when you train your tongue to be in this position, one, it's impossible to breathe in and out of your mouth. If you say that, hey, my tongue is against the roof of my mouth and I can still breathe in and out of my mouth, then your tongue is not in the right position. And the second is, when your tongue is in this position, it's less likely to fall back and cut off your breathing. So that means when you're sleeping, you're less likely to have breathing difficulties. One of the biggest reasons people get sleep apnea, where they start choking in the middle of the night, is because they're breathing in and out of their mouth, they're lying on their back, and then gravity causes their tongue to fall in the back of their throat. This causes them to snore and eventually cuts off their breathing, which leads them to getting sleep apnea. Now, if their tongue was on the roof of their mouth where it's supposed to be, then their airway is going to be open and it's going to be a lot easier to breathe in and out of their nose. Like I said, I talk a lot about mouth breathing in my other videos, so if you want to check out some of my other content, you can learn more about it. Number 4 is I never use my teeth as tools. Look, this one's pretty obvious, but I still see everyone doing it. You know when you go to Taco Bell and you get that fire sauce packet and you're trying to open it and you just think, screw it, I'll just open it with my teeth. And then you open it, that grinds my gears. Do not do that. You have 2 hands for a reason. Just open it or use some scissors. Why do you have to use your teeth? Or sometimes I see people do this to rip open packages or hold bobby pins when they're doing their hair. Or once in a while I see people open a bottle with their teeth. The problem is your teeth don't just crack usually all of a sudden from like one little force. You might think, well, I always hold bobby pins with my teeth, and they've never had any problems. But if you keep putting that stress on your teeth, it's gonna keep putting miles on your teeth. You know that total mileage on your car? You can never lower that total mileage. All those miles keep adding up, just like how much wear and tear you're putting on your teeth. And eventually, they can get weak to the point where they can get a micro crack or a micro fracture. This is something you can't even see. And then if you keep doing these things repeatedly, I've seen so many times where people crack their teeth and it's not even on something traditional that would crack your teeth. It's not like an ice cube. It's like a piece of bread or like eggs or something that is soft. But it really wasn't that piece of toast or that bread that cracked that tooth. It was all the years and wear and tear from before that led to that tooth getting cracked. So doing these little things with your teeth might seem harmless, but eventually it's going to add up, and once that tooth cracks or chips a little bit, you're never going to get that tooth structure back. And number 5, the last thing I would never do is go to sleep without my retainer. Look, my parents took me to the orthodontist when I was a kid, and I also had Invisalign later. Now granted, I got the Invisalign done in dental school, and they did it for free because it was people that were still learning and didn't really know what they were doing, so I don't really know if I got the best end of the stick or what, but I got Invisalign, I did all that stuff, and I would hate for my teeth to go back to where they used to be just because I didn't wear my retainer. The problem is once your teeth start to shift, the only way to get them to go back is by doing that orthodontics, the braces or Invisalign again. The other cool part about those plastic retainers is they can protect your teeth. This is especially true if you ever grind or clench your teeth. And the second part of this is if you need a bite splint. Let's say that you never had braces, you don't need to wear your retainer, but you do grind your teeth. In this case, I would never sleep without my bite guard or my bite splint. Because imagine going to sleep knowing that you grind and clench your teeth and putting all this stress on your teeth all night long. Eventually, those teeth will start to get shorter and flatter. And what also happens is, just like I said before, you're getting all this mileage on your teeth, they're more likely to break. So if you have something protecting your teeth, then this is really gonna prevent them from breaking and add more years to your teeth. That's really the whole goal here. So a bite splint is something that you can get made in a dental office, and it's especially good for people that grind and clench their teeth because it'll deflect those forces and really protect your teeth and prevent you from stressing them out or wearing them down. But if you at least wear your retainer like you did after getting braces, then it's still gonna protect your teeth because that plastic on your teeth is better than your teeth touching each other. So there you have it. Those are 5 things I would never do to my teeth as a dentist. Now, if you wanna still do it, after watching this video, by all means, go ahead. At least now you know the risks. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below, and I will see you in the next video. Every week, I get asked some of the same dental questions, but here's the problem. Most people are worried about the wrong stuff. So in this video, I'm gonna answer some of the most common questions I get from patients. So chances are, if you're watching this, you might have wondered one of these things too. The first question I wanna answer is, what is the best toothpaste to use? So many people ask